6 p.m. at Cole Hall in Shaftsbury, Vermont, and I'm calling to order this meeting of our Select Board. So as we dive right in on our agenda, does anybody here have a conflict of interest with anything on this agenda this evening?
No.
No. And just to be clear, right now we are missing Brad and Tony, but I believe Brad is coming, so we will just see, I guess. All right, item 3, minutes. So we have several.
4.
We have 4
All looked over.
different meeting minutes to approve this evening. I spoke with the VLCT after sort of a question of how minutes should be approved. And while we are going to continue to approve minutes in our meetings, we're not actually required to do so legally. We're going to continue to do so. But we are going to move away from the practice of requiring a quorum of people who are select board members who are at the meeting to be at the next meeting in order to approve the minutes, because as we have in evidence before us, we are a little bit behind, and we do have, state statute mandate to have this online and finalized within a certain amount of days of each meeting, and we are not in compliance at that time. So I'm going to call for a motion to, so should I do a motion for each one? Yes, right? Okay. So I call for a motion to approve, if there are no amendments, the meeting minutes for, let's go in order, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I write the date on there too.
The date of today, yeah.
20th.
10/20, yeah, 25. And we will not have to ever do this again for 4, so that's good.
Thank you.
All right, I call for a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September 15th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Call for a motion to approve the meeting minutes for Monday, October 6th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then I'd like to call for one more motion to approve the Tuesday, October 14th. Is that correct?
It was this.
Yes, it was special. 2025 special select board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And just a quick note on that, we will continue to make amendments, in person when we've read and if we see any changes to the minutes that need to be made. But if you know that in advance you want, I know I sent this via email, but I'm also just announcing it so everybody knows as we're kind of moving into a slightly different process. Send, review as ever in advance, and send an email if you will not be at the meeting, if there are amendments that you would like to have reflected. Okay.
Sarah writes very good minutes.
Yes, Sarah's very thorough, and I
Thank
think
you,
that
Sarah.
that's apparent and clear and making a big difference in the amount of amendments that need to be made and additions that need to be made, because she's very thorough, so.
Can I say something about
Of
that?
course.
Sarah will not be able to do the minutes for November and December, because remember she broke her foot?
Yes.
And she's going back to work and she has
Oh, she has to
double
catch up
the
on
work
like
to
2
do. She
months
has
or
to
3 months
catch
of
up.
work. Okay.
So she can get back to it, but for November and December, she won't be doing it, so we need someone to do that.
Okay, we will talk amongst ourselves about
Yeah.
that, perhaps.
Put it on your radar.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it. How bad can it be? Okay. Moving on to item number 4, announcements and updates. Okay, let's start with budget hearing dates. Paula, would you like to jump in here? It's just sort of an update or...
Yeah, the process for the budget is I present the fiscal year 27 budget to the select board twice. So I will do so for the first time on Monday, the 3rd of November.
The select board and the public. Yeah, so...
And the second time on the 17th.
November 3rd and November 17th.
Get her done.
And maybe again if we
Right.
have more changes that...
In between that time, we'll take in the comments
right.
that were provided to us and bring them back.
All right, new building updates. So this is the new municipal building. Paula, do you have any?
I do. I've
Updates
ordered
for-
the flooring. That's
Okay.
exciting.
Very
I
exciting.
don't remember the timing, but I'm going to talk to
It's like 8 to 10
Andrew.
weeks.
I think so. We have a few other choices to make with like the molding and stuff. And at the end of next week, the wiring will start going in.
Great, okay. And we did some numbers and we have a spreadsheet tally, of everything that's been spent on the building versus what was voted on to be spent. It's going very, very well. As we all know, managing a project yourself is very cost efficient, even
Yes.
if it is very painful. So, thank you, Paula, thank you, Town, thank you, everybody, thank you, Jen. I know everybody's really been hands on deck to get that building open and have trades people come in and out, so it's awesome. Okay, tractor and truck parade. So, since we last spoke, taking into consideration a few things, top of the list in terms of potential dates, Manchester has December 7th is their tractor parade, Manchester, Vermont. Granville's is December 13th, and Greenwich's is November 22nd, so that's the soonest. So that sort of leaves either right at the end of November or mid-December as times that would be possibilities. In thinking, we haven't heard back from the state yet about what it would take to shut down a section of road. We've talked a little bit about what staging would look like if it would be at the elementary school here, and then we would need to see, maybe the church would be able to allow us, I'm not really sure. All right, well, would you like to join us at the table, Mr. Irvin?
Sure.
All right.
Actually, Charlie.
All right.
Winding art.
Hi, Charlie.
We were thinking about dailies. That's a perfect place.
Yeah,
They've got plenty of room, but we.
I haven't spoke to anybody yet about that.
okay,
But I do have a person I can contact and
that would be great.
send us in the right direction.
Okay,
but-
yeah.
But we need to come give her a date,
Yeah, we need a date.
but that's a perfect place. There's all kinds of room, because everybody's gonna be bringing a tractor out with a truck
With
and
a trailer,
and
yep,
that sort of stuff.
okay.
Do we have a sense of who's actually going to coordinate all this?
I don't know, I know that we spoke, would y'all be able to reach out to Sarah, of the Recreation Committee?
Sarah Costa?
Sarah Costin, and see if you all could team up, and maybe pass on the information you've gathered to them, and then, because we're still sort of in these last stages of figuring out if this is like fully feasible. And I think it is, but it is very soon. So it would need to be, it's a fairly large effort and would need to be kind of concerted. So if the Recreation Committee's got the,
Some kind of,
yeah, they need to be on board to help, because,
yeah, we're gonna need a lot of help.
And I think definitely somebody
who's the point
point
person.
person. Because otherwise, the time will fly by and everybody will be thinking somebody
Thanksgiving,
else is
and
taking
then,
care of
yeah.
it.
Would you like me to put you all on an email thread together? Would that be helpful?
Please.
And see, okay, I'll do that this evening, and we'll see if we can get some movement. When are they next meeting? Do we know? Off the top of our heads? We can find out.
Yeah,
Yeah, a special
I don't-
meeting.
Yeah, they do for
Yes,
the
they
day
just,
before
they
Halloween?
just had to change it.
And I don't think
I
that
think
they
it's
have,
October 30th.
do they have a November event that they're
24th.
doing? No. So as
24th?
far as I know, they're really just working on the dog park stuff right now, which is
No,
really
no.
more of an ongoing project now that they figured out that they're gonna be moving into
Next
like.
meeting,
31st.
the 31st.
31st, I'm sorry,
31st.
yep.
I thought
Okay.
it was
Scheduled
Halloween.
it.
Yeah.
Marie, you're on that committee,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yep,
Yeah, 31st,
10 a.m.
awesome. And so
10
Marie,
a.m.
Marie's on the committee as well, so Marie Watson, who I'm sure you all both know. And so she now also knows and can speak with the group a little bit maybe in advance. But yes, it would be great for this to happen. Also definitely is kind of a heavy lift. If you could reach out to dailies, it would be great. We'll continue. I'm pretty sure we're good on the passive side. We need to figure out a couple more things, and work with Mike
The
on the state.
insurance.
The
The
end
insurance.
of November is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving on Thursday, then you got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you want at the end of November.
At the end of November would be good in terms of it's a week after Greenwich's. And then we can't do the weekend that has the Manchester and Granville because it doesn't
It wouldn't
really
be
make
right.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. And they're already pretty established, so we don't want to be.
Right.
But yeah, so it might be, and that's in about just a little over a month, which is definitely still possible. But the committee, rec committee definitely needs to be hands-on and involved and interested. And so tonight I will send an email. It's Sarah and Dina who are the chairs, right, of the committee? Or
It's Dina.
Dina.
Dina?
Dina's the chair.
Dina, okay, then I'll do that. They're always here together. So. Okay. Do y'all have any other thoughts you'd like to share? No. Okay.
No, it's just that I think I'm sure we'll get at least 20 vehicles easily. I mean, there's 14 people that responded and and there's still fire trucks, town trucks, all that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, and then somebody said something about four-wheelers.
That's right.
So you're gonna
Garden
have,
tractors.
you're gonna have everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if we can get it off the ground. I feel like we're like almost there, and if the rec committee sends on board, then I feel like we're on our way. But we really do need a concerted effort behind a lift like that, as you all both know. Okay. Well, thank you,
All
gentlemen.
right, this one's your turn.
Thanks, John.
All right. Quick update. Halloween went great. It was a success. There are photographs on the website, right? Or they're on Facebook. They're on town
Both.
Facebook. On town website and town Facebook, of our beloved dog champions and the runners-ups. Okay, so those are the announcements and updates. We'll move into warrants, and then we'll move into public comment. Okay.
Can you say this? Note this,
Okay.
because that's,
I'd like to call for a motion to consider. Check warrant report number 26009 in the amount of $283,907.81. And I'd like to note that $144,296.57 of that 283 were paid for by grants. Motion to consider for approval.
So moved.
Second.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and read out what looks like a fairly substantial list of items in excess of $1,000. Taking a look here, we have Pennington House of Tile, the flooring deposit, which is $13,000. That is for the municipal building. We just discussed that. That'll also be the largest expense of the building, aside from the vault, is the flooring. So we're basically now we're just at finish, which is a beautiful place to be. Casella Waste Systems, invoice 1587593 in the amount of $9,509.15.
the garbage, taking away
Big
the
garbage.
transfer station.
All right. Contact Engineered Solutions, 2 invoices. One is invoice 32098587. The other is 32184,507. First one is in the amount of $81,839, and it's a grant BC 2351.
Yep, materials for the culvert project the DPW did.
Culvert project, great.
Yep, paid for by grants.
And the other one is it's invoice 32184,507 in the amount of $35,750.
Yeah.
And that's also for the culvert project. Great. Innovative Service Solutions, invoice 10767.
Calcium
in
chloride.
The amount of $5,448.91. So that's calcium chloride, so that's DPW, right?
Yep.
M&T Bank, invoice 110325 in the amount of $1,353.36.
We put a lot of things on that town credit card, like Adobe and the Zoom.
Okay, so it's likely a subscription.
Yep, all the AT&T cell phones, etc.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the monthly statement. Or
Monthly statement,
that is
correct.
all of the
Yep.
costs. Okay, great.
Yep.
That makes sense.
We kind of divvy it up.
Yeah, phone and
Yeah.
subscription, understood. Okay. MVP Healthcare, November coverage, $16,507.41.
Employee health insurance.
New England Enterprises, invoice $2,500.
A DPW needed a shipping container.
Okay.
They rented one.
What are they doing with it,
I
out of
have no
curiosity?
idea.
Okay, we should ask.
Yeah. I have the invoice. but
Okay, and it
I haven't
says,
seen Mike that much.
oh yeah, he's very busy. Nemrick, invoice 57825 in the amount of $7,750.
That's the assessment reappraisal fee for October.
Okay. Nemrick, invoice 57857 in the amount of $5,811.26.
That is the annual support payment.
Okay, so one is
Just a
subscription,
year.
one is
Yep.
support, okay. Peckham Industries, invoice 1222128 in the amount of $3,834.70.
Gravel. Gravel.
It's always more rock.
Lots of rocks.
Southworth Milton Incorporated, covered by grant BC 2351 in the amount of $8,308.55. I'm guessing it's the culvert.
Yeah, it's the culvert stuff, yeah, more,
Because it's the same
materials.
grant, so it
Yeah.
must be the same spend. Ultra Modem Industries LLC, second vault payment, $28,620. And then Ultra Modem Industries invoice for $28,620 for the third vault payment. Both of those were allocated from a fund that was used for municipal, repairs, and
Hawkins
it's
Fund.
not out
Yeah.
of, what was it, the Hawkins Fund?
Hawkins Fund.
The Hawkins Fund, so none of that is on the taxpayer
Doesn't come in the
dime.
budget, yeah.
Wallingford crushed stone in the amount of $4,149.02.
Highway grant money
Stone.
for crushed stone.
And covered by the grant. Great. Weaver excavating, $1,500, also covered by grant BC 2351.
Excavating costs.
On what? The culvert?
Yeah,
It's all the same grant, so it's all the
Yeah.
same project.
yep, big project.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Any thoughts, any considerations? No. I would call for a motion to approve.
So
check
moved.
warrant. Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Do we have, okay, yes, we do.
This is the current one, and this is the one you and Naomi signed for the last one in between select
The
board
off-cycle.
meetings. Yeah.
Okay. Need to call for a motion to consider for approval check warrant report PR 09 in the amount of $20,890.65.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, or is there any discussion? All in favor of approving?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then this is an earlier payroll.
Oh, sorry.
Mike just needs to sign it.
Okay. And this is check warrant report PR 08 in the amount of $22,689.56. All in favor of approving? Aye. Okay, we made it through warrants. Those
Yeah.
were a lot of numbers. I don't like reading them out loud. So, moving on. Now we invite comments from our public who would like to join us at the table if anyone. Come and join us. All right. And the hazard mitigation plan is on the agenda, so you're not, yeah, okay, I was like, you're not in the public.
I'll stand if that's okay.
Oh, you may do whatever you like.
Thank you. Come on in. Thank you very much for allowing us to attend your select board meeting this evening. My name is Sheriff James Gully, and this here is Corporal Scott Legacy. I wanted to bring Scott in before the board to introduce him to members of Shaftsbury, residents of Shaftsbury. He is now patrolling the town of Shaftsbury. So we've had some recent development, some movements. Sergeant Thomas, who was patrolling Shaftsbury and Sunderland, has now transitioned into the court, and Corporal Legacy is here, working hard on your behalf. So I thought I'd take the time, and I'll get off the soapbox, and I'll let Corporal Legacy talk about himself for a second.
No, so my name is Scott Legacy. I'm born and raised from here. Lived in Shaftsbury the last 30 years of my life. Lived up off of East Road. Someone here bought my...
I'm living in your old house.
Living in my old house. There it is. Hopefully you like it.
I do.
And I live over towards North Bennington area, but in the Shaftsbury's part. It's my 13th year in law enforcement. I worked at Bennington PD for 9 years, and the last 2.5 years at the Sheriff's Department, and a year at Winhall, so I'm excited to be patrolling. I've been patrolling in Pownell for the last 2 years.
Okay, so this is, yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Close your home.
Yeah.
So Corporal Legacy, he's helped us with everything from narcotic investigations to barking dog complaints, and I know that when we worked together back in the day, along with now Captain Harrington, we've handled everything from the most minor to the most severe, which being a homicide. So I have full faith and confidence in Corporal Legacy, and I know he will do. I know he will do his job very well, and he'll represent the residents of Shaftsbury
Yeah.
very well. So, and to be quick, not to be long-winded, we've also been working with a few neighborhood watches. We know Twitchell Hill and also the Cleveland Avenue area. And we've been intensely focusing on motor vehicle offenses,
Oh, good.
speeding.
Yeah.
That was an area of interest. I know that Town Manager Eichen and I discussed that, along with some other things. And addressing those quality of life matters, really. Noise, fireworks, neighborly disputes, things like that. So, because obviously if you handle the small matters, subsequently it addresses the larger matters. So,
And just, the sheriff's had my hand in everything when Sycamore was going on, even though it was in Pownell, the sheriff sent me up to Sycamore Street.
yeah, even though we have particular areas of patrol, so right now we have Detective Proft, who used to patrol Shaftsbury. Right now he's on a call in Dorset, which once we leave here, we have to head up to Dorset to help. But everybody has a hand in something. Everybody is helping another. Just like you do for your neighbors and for your local residents. So, but we also work very well with the Vermont State Police. We talk almost daily, at least I do, and our local partners, Bennington, Manchester, Winhall, and yes, we do work closely with our federal law enforcement partners. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you both.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me before I leave, or...
Do y'all have any questions?
I saw you actually turning on to Cleveland Ave today, and I was wondering who the new sheriff was.
Oh, yeah. They want to add me to some Facebook group over there.
Oh, okay.
Because they're talking about things that are going on in that
Oh,
area. So
With the break-ins, the pulling door handles and breaking into cars.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we also have been speaking with Town Manager Eichen about Halloween this year,
Okay.
so we're all set and ready to go.
Awesome.
And if you have any, concerns or anything that you need addressed, please let us know.
I have one hyper-specific speeding concern that I will let you know about sometime. It's really consistent and it's really illegal.
Yeah.
Very dangerous for like children and pets.
And I have to say, because we are live, we have been spending considerable amount of time on Bank Street.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I do that. That's not where it is, but I see that too. Saw
Where
it on
the-
Sunday. Someone will say
we-
Where
that.
the White Creek Road and transitions up.
we've gotten like four
Going like 50.
written letters.
Yes,
for
and
that.
I do receive letters, phone calls, emails. I respond to every one. But I just want everybody to know that yes, there is a presence, and yes, we are doing our best to address that matter. It's a serious matter, and we're taking it very seriously, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, so for Halloween this year, normally we have 3, but we're gonna add a 4th this year, which we talked to you. The sheriff
Yes,
talked
it's
to you
on a
about.
Friday this year.
Yes, on a
Yes.
Friday, so we're gonna
Yes,
add a
please.
4th.
Yep.
So we wanna make sure that the road is shut down at 4:30 to 8, and the 4th person this year will be walking
Great.
around with the kids, and they'll be wearing a fluorescent jacket with
That's
sheriff
great.
patches
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yep, so
So
they can be
helpful in so many
approached.
ways.
'Cause if
Yeah.
somebody
You get
goes-
lost or anything.
Yeah, and if somebody goes
It's
to
like
the-
1,000, 2,000 people.
Yeah. Good to have a trusted
trick-or-treating it.
adult who. Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that we're not just helping crossing and blocking, but
Well, it's hard to also leave a traffic post and address a matter, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the time. Yeah.
Well, please don't hesitate to send us an email, a phone call, or connect with us through your wonderful town manager, and we'll be here for you if you need us. Great,
Thank you,
thank you
gentlemen.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
And thank you. Corporal Legacy. Corporal, right? I got it.
Corporal Legacy.
no, Scott, it's fine.
Thanks, Scott. All right. You gentlemen have a safe rest of your evening.
Been a while.
So we're still open for public comments here. If anybody would like to come up and join us. Okay. So we'll move into item 7, which is the treasurer's report. Would you like to come join us at the table?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
You got my report, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's one of these mid-month ones that are not terribly informative, but the big number will pop right out at you when you see it. Show you what I've been busy with.
So many options.
There you go. I know.
There we
I have a
go.
few documents
Yeah, we
open,
got a lot
so
going
I-
on tonight.
Okay, so the number I'm talking about is the 945,000. That's how much I've collected in taxes just this month. There's
Wow.
a similar amount last month. We did manage to do the remailing that the lawyers required. I remailed the entire file except for anybody who had already paid, or anybody who pays through their escrow company, or anybody who asked me not to waste town money mailing them another bill. So we had a little stuffing party, and it actually was not that bad. We had managed to, using those 3 criteria, we did limit the amount of remailing we had to do. There were only 2 payments that people had already made and then got another bill, and they were pretty irritated, but I was able to explain the situation, and most of the other people seem to be kind of happy to have gotten another reminder. So, sometimes when there's between August and November with a due date, it might sort of go to the back of your mind. So I do have the sign out at the corner. It gets blown over every 5 or 10 minutes, but every time I walk by, I prop it back up again. I hope we have room in our budget for a better sign, because that thing is it's really falling apart. I guess.
Yeah,
We have a new
should
one.
do that.
Yeah.
And the ladies used it this weekend.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, maybe I'll try and
Use that
get
one.
on the dance card for a
Yeah.
better sign. So anyway, that's what I'm concentrating on these days. We have until November 10th at 5 p.m. to pay taxes. That's on the sign out there now, too. The final date to do a change to a homestead status to your benefit was October 15th. If you do your homestead declaration now, you will not benefit from the change. We got the word out as much as we possibly could. Gina has been a pit bull on the subject. I've been trying to communicate this to people too. As I know now, at least one person filed on October 16th, which means they got penalized and will not have their status change. I hate it when that happens, and we do everything.
Yeah, that
we
seems like that shouldn't even be a thing that does happen.
Right.
You know? Like logically, that's wild.
I agree,
that
but
that's,
they still process it, and when they process it late,
that's the result. Yeah,
yeah, there's a penalty. Yeah,
that really is strange.
I hate it, so I have to mail out that new tax bill and say, by the way, this one is for more than the last one, but please, when I say that you've got to get it in by October 15th, I'm not kidding. That is a hard, hard deadline. And it's a state issue, that's not me. So that's disappointing, but, so that's everything with taxes. We could talk about some of that other stuff. We got the first quarterly highway state aid. You can see there down a few. The Better Roads Grant is something that Paula could probably talk more informatively about that than I can, but that did come through. You can see down a few more Hawkins Fund. That's from the trustees. So that paid for the vault, right?
Yeah.
Half of the vault.
So that, yeah, so that's what that represents there. Any questions about any other
I see some
money?
water receipts are still going in.
Yeah,
so
they're
that's
still,
good.
they're going.
Love
yeah.
to see that.
I keep saying we're getting to the point where we're not going to get any more, but somehow we keep getting. But I've got to say that Tiffany has just been all over this. She gets all the credit in the world for this. She has, for almost everybody remaining on the list, she has payment plans in place. So,
Wow.
yeah, I mean,
That's an unbelievable difference.
yes, it is. It's
So
huge.
it's like 60% down, and everyone else is
Almost
in
everyone
contact.
else.
Mostly,
There are-
almost for practical purposes.
Yes,
Everyone.
yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
I
And
mean-
what a fast timeline too, in the time that
Yeah.
that happened. That's
It
nothing is
just
that
took
fast.
somebody really, really shining a bright light on it. And, I mean, there are some
we gotta
people
talk
who
to
are
people.
never, ever going to pay. And,
Right.
and she is, Tiffany is in discussion with Holly about how they handle that going forward, because it's probably going to result in some tax
Tax
sales.
sales. Yeah.
But they're-
Only so many years can one not pay one's bills, you know. I just pay mine, so I don't have this problem, but.
Yeah, but, yeah, it catches up with you eventually. But yes, and the actual new water bills are going out very soon. I talked to Josh today. He's finished the reading, so I've got to write in all of the usage into NEMRIC, and then the bills will be mailing pretty much right after, sorry about this, right after taxes, the water bills go out. But that's just the schedule we're on.
How long are they, when they go out, when are they subsequently due? Like, when is payment due?
With water, it's a month. It's
Yeah.
30 days.
That's what I thought, but I just thought I would
Yeah.
double check. And also say it out loud, so as we continue to try to.
Yeah, I mean, it's, that one's not, it's not like tax bills, because you have to, get as much of the usage as you possibly can, and then get them out and then collect it, so, and also real estate has been very, very hot, so he's had to go out and do a lot of special readings for house transfers. But,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, it seems from my point of view that there's been a lot of transfers that have happened in the last couple of months. I mean, right when the interest rates changed, they just,
Yeah,
there were a lot
they
of
are more
closings.
favorable.
Yeah, they're a little bit better.
Not great, but better than, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we look at the bottom half of that, yeah, there's one payroll, and those are AP that you have already approved. That big one is going to, you'll see that in the month end for when I'm done with that. But as you said, a lot of that is going to be grants, so
Yeah,
that was a
$144,000.
scary number, but it's a lot less scary than it sounded. Any questions about any of that?
No?
Remember, we don't have the reserve account anymore because it's all in this one checking account. So I'm keeping a look at the money due to and from all these funds. I'll probably do a presentation about it. It's pretty in the weeds, but maybe at the next meeting, I'll just.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Because that money you see there, the 2.3 million, is cash that we have right now, but remember that everything like, fire trucks and all that stuff is
That
in
it
there too.
applies, yeah, to
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's not just, yeah.
Okay, any questions about any of that?
I don't have any.
No, for me.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, Mark.
So item 8, we don't actually have a DPW report this evening. No major changes since last week, but we will have a DPW report at our next meeting. So now, our hazard mitigation plan to be presented by Dara, right? Zink. All right. It's not, it's just the way the chair is, it's not on purpose,
If I
yeah.
roll into you, just help me back.
Yeah, maybe we should have them a little further back next time, but.
That's okay. Okay, so thank you for having me join you. I'm Dara Zink. I work with Bennington County Regional Commission. I'm the Emergency Management Program Manager. That role has been put on pause due to some funding pauses from the federal government. However, I'm still going to do hazard mitigation planning with our towns, and then hopefully my funding will come back through and I'll go back to my emergency management work as well. So here I am going to talk about avoiding mayhem and hazard mitigation planning. You can go to the next slide. Okay, let's talk about mitigation. Mitigation falls right in the center of FEMA's emergency management cycle. Mitigation can take place at any point during response, recovery, and preparedness stages. It focuses largely on building or rebuilding in ways that reduce risk permanently. And hazard mitigation planning is risk-informed decision-making that takes place generally during the preparedness phase. Next slide. I feel like I should beep. Do you guys remember the old book? It's on tape. Okay, so why do we create our hazard mitigation plans? I'm not going to read each of these, but in summary, it's to protect life and safety, prevent damage, and overall reduce costs to the town. Next slide. So let's talk money. Normally this little plays, everybody knows what he's saying, right? Show me the money. A 2019 report from the National Institute of Building Sciences states that for every dollar spent on mitigation, $13 can be saved. And this includes communities that adopt building code requirements, those that build above code, private sector retrofits to buildings, and lifeline retrofits. Federal grant funds alone can save $6 for each dollar that is invested in mitigation. And that includes funding from FEMA, Economic Development Administration, and HUD funding. Next slide. Okay, so this is, what does it mean to Shaftsbury? Right? So the state has a carrot for you. The state has the Emergency Relief and Assistance Fund. Are any of you familiar with this? Has this? Okay, all right, great. It means that you're not hearing things that
Yeah,
you
we're
already
familiar
know. You're familiar?
Oh, like tertiarily.
Oh, okay.
A little.
A little, okay. All right. So the Emergency Relief and Assistance Fund, and I'll refer to it as ERAF going forward. When there is a disaster, let's say it's a $1 million disaster, you need a bridge fixed or something like that. Federally, usually it's FEMA, that will cover 75% of that $1 million. Now, let me preface this before we dig in. This is under current guidelines. Okay, we all know that things are in flux right now.
Yeah.
So this is FEMA who, right? So under current, preface it with under current state and federal guidelines, this is how it would work out. So the federal government, FEMA, would come in and cover 75%. The state, as a baseline, will come in and cover an additional 7.5% through this ERAF fund. That leaves the town responsible for the remaining 17.5%. So in this case, if, let's say the town didn't do anything, right? The town is responsible for $175,000 out of the million. Next slide. Oh, what, back one more? Nope, other way. Did they get shifted? Go back one more. There we go. Communities can be eligible for an additional, for 12.5% from the state if they've adopted these 4 mitigation measures. So they're part of the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP. They've adopted the most recent town road and bridge standards. They have a local emergency management plan in place, and they have a local hazard mitigation plan in place. And go to the next slide.
We just have 2 of those, right?
Hang on, we'll go over what
Okay.
you guys
I was
have.
like,
Don't
okay,
worry,
two.
we're gonna talk about it. And so there's one more step that can be taken, and that is to protect river corridors from new encroachment. And if the town does all 5 of those steps, it's then eligible for 17.5% from the state, which leaves the town holding the bag for 7.5% of the million. So much less overall. And next slide. So where is Shaftsbury currently? So this report you can pull from Flood Ready Vermont at any time. They update it regularly. So right now, Shaftsbury is eligible for that 17.5% reimbursement rate from the
Oh,
state,
awesome.
which is great. Big round of applause for
Good job,
Shaftsbury.
Shaftsbury.
Yes, you guys
Yeah.
rock. So you take part in NFIP, you've adopted the road standards, you have your LEMP, which is updated annually. Big shout out to Paula and Paul Dancero, and you guys worked on it, I think, all together this year. Your local hazard mitigation plan is currently valid, and we'll go over that in a second. And you have interim status for your river corridor adoptions. So they are not, eventually, they won't meet state standard anymore, but for right now, and I haven't looked at your bylaws yet, but for right now, they're meeting that. As we head into 2028 with the new, I don't want to get into it today, but with the new Flood Safety Act, new regulations are coming out in 2028, we'll be relooking at bylaws and things like that.
So in our current bylaw revision, we should be looking at that.
Absolutely. Are you guys in the middle of a
Yeah,
bylaw
we are.
revision?
We are.
Yes.
Okay, is someone from BCRC working on that with you guys?
I don't know. I would assume yes.
Yes,
I mean, they have been.
Kelly,
Oh, Callie, okay, okay, and I'll just,
Callie Fishburne.
yeah, I'll just touch base with her and make sure that we look at that, because I don't want you to lose that interim status, because the new state template that they have out doesn't actually meet, it wouldn't meet this
Awesome.
anymore. So let me connect with Callie, and I'll make sure that we're working on this with multiple towns, and make sure you don't lose that status for now.
Which also means we would have a better protection in the river corridors.
Right.
So it's just a good thing in itself.
Exactly. So we just want to make sure that if you change anything in your bylaws, it's not going to remove that interim status itself. So I'll work with Callie and double check on that. If she has any questions, she'll let you know. So moving forward, your local hazard mitigation plan is only valid until May 28th of 2026.
Oh, okay, so,
So you're coming up, and I know that, well, you guys work in town, so that seems like tomorrow, right? And mitigation plans normally take about 18 months to complete. So in May, you would drop down, and the way that ERAF works is that you need all 4 of those first steps, plus the fifth to get 17.5. But if you lose one of those first 4 steps, it immediately bumps you down to 7.5%.
okay, so,
So come May, if you don't have your hazard mitigation plan in place, you guys will be back down to the 7.5% rate.
And why
ERAF.
does it ordinarily take 18 months
Because you have to write a whole plan. So
from scratch each time?
normally you could do an update. So, but FEMA over the last several years, and so I started working with BCRC 2 years ago, and that's when they were implementing big changes. So between your 2021 date, and now, they've changed the requirements enough that they really suggest doing a whole new plan at this point.
so we don't have really very much of a chance of making it in advance of May if it's,
Right,
okay, if it takes a year
Right.
and a half.
right.
Okay,
So,
so,
So
We-
we are going to lose this.
so we're gonna go from 17.5
Temporarily.
to
Temporarily.
7.5,
Yep.
and then we're gonna go back up.
yeah, once you get it done. So I think this is the end of my slideshow. Is there one more slide? Oh, making it happen. So let's talk about making it happen. So, and of course, right now, we're in a time of great flux, I think is a good word for it. And normally, the state offers grant funds to allow towns to have the capacity to write these hazard mitigation plans. Unfortunately, that was through BRIC funding, which was pulled at the beginning of the year. So right now, as of right now, there is no grant funding
Okay.
for this.
How
So,
long is a
however,
hazard mitigation plan?
can be 100 pages.
100 pages. Okay.
But they are, so Vermont Emergency Management are the ones that manage funds for this. And they are writing into the larger hazard mitigation grant program funds that are coming from the 2023 and 2024 floods. So, and they're referred to as DR 4720. That's associated with the 2023 flood, and DR 4810, and that's the 2024 flood. There's a big pot of money that's supposed to be coming from FEMA to us. And part of that, VEM, Vermont Emergency Management, is writing hazard mitigation plans into. And so they have put all of these towns, funding for all of these towns, just pages, here in Vermont, to receive grant funds for hazard mitigation planning. So that is in process, if you want to see the towns.
Are we one of the
Are we one of them?
Yes, yes, you are one of them. You are one of them.
I was like, I don't
Right
wanna
there.
see if I'm not
Are we
there.
two of them?
Right there.
I was like, I
So,
don't want to see them if we're not amongst them.
no, you are, you're right there highlighted. And so they are continuing to move forward with that application. Paula received an email just saying, do you still want to be part of this application? Do you want to be eligible for grant funds? If you don't, then you have to respond, but if you do.
Oh, I saw that email.
Yeah, okay, great,
Yeah.
you got that? I wasn't sure who got it.
That structure.
Yeah, that's,
Opt-in is, yeah,
Yeah.
you're opted in, I like that structure.
yeah, Caroline is amazing at VEM. So Shaftsbury is opted in, to be part of this grant funding. However, the time frame, as they like to say, is very vague, muddy,
Yeah.
clear as mud, as we wait through the government shutdown and we wait and see what happens with the grant application. So we remain optimistic that the funds will still be distributed for hazard mitigation planning. However, should that not happen, the information coming down from the state is that hazard mitigation plans will still be required for ERAF to maintain your status at that point. So right now, the options are wait and see what happens with the grant, and we're not sure when that will come through. You can attempt to do it yourself, which is fine. I can share with you templates. I can share with you, obviously your previous plan you can have to work off of and things like that. You could pay for it, hire a contractor, pay for it out of your general funds. BCRC normally charges $12,000 to $15,000 for that, depending on how much work goes into it. Or you can say we don't want to do one and just have the lower ERAF free. That it's an option, right? It's an option that's there. Is it, what I suggest? No, but it is an option. So I just wanted to come here tonight, to remind you that the hazard mitigation plan is going to be coming due, and give you guys some things to think about and answer any questions that you might have. And I can talk a little bit more about the process if you're interested, or...
I'd love to see a template.
So I can send you your previous
I'd
one.
love to see that also.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'd love to see all of it.
Yeah, so, well,
As well as the new guidelines.
Yeah.
yes, so the new guidelines. So one of the changes, so a good change that has happened since your previous plan and now is that the previous plans were very boilerplate. And you had to include all sorts of disasters, like earthquakes and hail and things like that may not really be a priority for Shaftsbury to mitigate, right? It's kind of hard,
distracting.
right? Yeah, right? You're putting in work into this piece that's not really necessary. So one of the good things that came out is that FEMA allows you to focus more on the higher priority disasters now.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Right, right. Thank you. That was one of the good things that came out of it. You just have to explain why you aren't addressing
Right.
the other hazards to the town. So that's a positive. But what they have increased, and this is, I think, is also a good thing, is that they've increased the public outreach.
Okay.
As well. So the requirement before, just have a couple public meetings come in front of the select board. And now they actually want like a public meeting where you gather input, a survey alone isn't really going to just cut it. They want more than that.
Seems fine.
So,
Makes sense.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's helpful to get people's awareness.
Yeah, and
Raised
also-
and everybody's thinking.
Right,
And their
exactly.
institutions, their knowledge, and
Yep.
get everybody in a room. That
I mean,
makes sense.
You have residents who have lived through how many, floods that they've had, or snowstorms, or things like that, and they may have history, that somebody who's newer would not know.
They absolutely do. Yeah.
So, getting that history and getting that knowledge is, really important. So, yeah, and I can share all of that information, Paul, I can send it to you.
Please do, thank you.
And then you guys can kind of think over it. Hopefully, in the meantime, information will come through about funding. We just keep our fingers crossed. And of course, I'll share that as soon as I get it. So we have multiple towns in the same boat that we're just trying to get, how are we going to bridge this gap for now?
And if it's an enormous gap,
Yeah.
then that's a whole other question.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, things may change from the state as well. I kind of wonder if there is no funding, are they going to change requirements or things like that? Prioritize or, say again?
Who reviews and approves the?
This FEMA. So
Okay, so it's the feds. But
the feds ultimately
Will
have.
people still work there to review our mitigation plan?
So what?
It's really genuinely asking.
No, that is-
like, it's a lot of 18 months of work is a lot if maybe there's no department.
So what actually happens is FEMA is the ultimate oversight, but they have granted VEM
Okay, got it.
review capabilities, and
Okay.
so Caroline Paskey at the state actually
Is actually looking
is
at that.
actually
Great,
the one
okay.
reviewing them.
Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate
Which is
that
wonderful
clarity.
because she,
What's her name?
Caroline
Great.
Paskey, Paske, and she's wonderful. As I have said before, she's really great to work with.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and so she's also the one that's spearheading getting the funding for these plans too. So she's the one who
With
the email
grant
came
funding,
from.
With the two floods and the, Got
Yep,
it.
yep. So she is busting her tail to try to find a way to fund these, to keep, our towns moving forward, preparing, and how can, you mitigate in advance to lessen the impact, because we know things are still going to happen, and so what can we put in place to help, lessen the impacts of
Absolutely.
a flood or something like that, so.
In a sort of broader picture way, maybe you can answer this question, maybe not. How much of the hazard mitigation plans that we put in place at the local level, the actions placed in those plans, how many of them are in themselves really, in their implementation, dependent on the FEMA funding?
It depends on what actions you choose. So, for example, both Bennington and Manchester recently redid their plans, and they have 2 floodplain reconstruction projects, large ones, that they are attempting to get off the ground. Both of those are, I don't know, let's say they're over $1 million each. The Bennington one is close to 2.5. And I didn't work on the Manchester one, but I'm assuming it's similar. Those are completely reliant on FEMA funds to get those off the ground. And so when you are creating those action items within the hazard mitigation plan, that's part of prioritizing them, right? Where is the funding available for something like this? Is it feasible just on general funds? No, so we know that we need to look for FMA funds, Flood Mitigation Act funds, and those come up every 2 years. So we know, well, we're not going to make this high priority right now because I know in 2 years those funds will be available. So I would say maybe it's a medium one when you prioritize them. And then FEMA now, another change, is that they want the towns to go through and actually look at those actions on an annual basis and say, yes, we've completed this one, boom, we've had some success there. Let's move this one up to our next action item that we want to address. And then, in 2027, we're going to address this one because FMA funds, we'll start working towards this one because those funds will become available. So it just helps right? Just like any other plan, it helps the town look ahead and see what is going to be feasible down the road, what can be done right now, and what can you plan for. So, yes, grant funding is really important, and it will probably cause the town to prioritize actions differently. So they prioritize, let's say, the 2 floodplain mitigation projects as immediate in those plans because those funds are immediate now. Like those funds are available right now for us to apply for. And so they were one of the top priorities because of the fact that we were actually writing grants at that time to try to get those projects off the ground as well.
And this is an example, I guess, of one of the reasons why we would really want to work with BCRC in the development of that very intimately, right?
Yes.
Because you guys are the ones who have that picture.
Yes, we tend to have a larger picture of what's going on. FEMA also wants to see this plan integrating all of your other plans as well, and then have this plan integrated into your, so they go back and forth. And so BCRC tends to have helped with the other plans,
so they're
so.
familiar,
Yeah, So it's a little bit of a, and, you know, if I haven't actually worked on it, Callie, who sits next to me, is working on it or has worked on it. And so we share some of that information back and forth. Just like I'll go back to her and say, hey, about the bylaws, let's make sure, you know, we're covering flood hazards and river corridors so they don't lose that interim status.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the benefits of working with us. Now, do you have to? Absolutely not. We've had other towns go with other contractors that come in and do it, and that's perfectly fine. But, you know, we
Yeah,
offer
I
our
feel like we
services.
would rather continue the relationship,
Yeah.
but we, you know, you go Caroline, you get those grant funding opportunities, and we'll go forth.
So, but now you guys have something to chew on.
Not you, obviously, Caroline has.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, we're gonna root for Caroline every day. I look for an email, I'm like, something from Caroline. So chew on it, think about it. I'll keep anytime, I'm really glad that, I wasn't sure where that email went to that Caroline sent, because it goes to a listserv, and so I don't know.
I did get it, but
Okay, and so I apologize, Paula, for then increasing your inbox.
No worries.
By resending it, but I just want to make sure that everyone who needs it sees it.
will you also just email me things too? Can I give you my email? Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. You guys want to, I mean, I'm sure it's on the town website.
Yeah.
Do you want me to look it up?
No, I know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I can look it up.
Yeah, I don't know, it's not gonna be there because
Copy
now
and
we get,
paste.
hold on.
Oh, no. Yes, so I'll keep you all posted as we hear things. Hopefully, we hear things at the same time, but sometimes, you know, things slip through, so. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can get some funding to keep these going.
Yeah,
Perfect, thank you.
yeah, I mean, there's no point in chewing too hard on what you've given us until we know.
Yeah. But this is great, and thank you for
It's
letting us
wonderful.
know,
Thank you
and we
so
will
Yep.
keep cheering for Caroline each day as well.
Right. Thank you, Dara.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you
I'm
so
never gonna
much.
explain all that.
Yeah, it's quite.
Yeah.
And if you have questions, let me know, send me an email or give me a call. I'm happy to answer questions if they come up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so now we've got item 10, which is the Emerald Ash Borer Committee Report, delivered by Art Whitman.
And Charlie.
And Charlie.
And Charlie?
And Charlie. I'm gonna write it on there.
Part of the hazard mitigation plan.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
You know, that might be
Yeah.
a way to get some
Yeah, it
funding
is.
for
I mean,
Should be down the road.
that'd be cool. Yeah, that could be good. But yes, we are trying to mitigate hazards in this respect.
Okay, I think at town meeting, you made it very public that ash trees are a problem.
Thank you.
And for at least the past 4 or 5 years, Jim White has been telling me, you've got to cut the ash trees down, so it's going to happen. Okay, so the select board asked that there be an ash tree committee formed. The tree warden, David Mance III, is the co-chair. I'm also the co-chair. We have Cinda Morris, Denny Burrow, and Charlie Jenks that are members of it. We also, Mike Iannotti is a consultant, and Ian Harrington, who works for the DPW, has done it for other towns.
Okay,
So
great.
we have.
Who
all-
just came from Bennington, right?
Bennington,
That
yeah.
hired, yeah.
we have all kinds of experience, both Mr. Jenks and Mr. Burrow have logged it and all that sort of stuff. So we have a lot of experience on this committee. So the first thing that we did was, through volunteers, we took an inventory. We went on almost every road, marked tree, or we didn't mark the trees, we tallied the trees. There was a paper tally that Mr. Nance came up with that kind of says roughly the degree of severity of whether it's dead, dying, and that sort of stuff. He also was given an app that he put on his phone where we actually stopped in front of each tree and just answered a few questions as far as the severity of it. That has all been compiled and put on a map. So we have a map and are working on it. with little dots, every place there's a concern and that type of thing. So we have a visual thing of how serious this is. So, once the committee was formed, the very first thing we did was we came up with a mission statement. And we have it up there. Okay, I won't read it. You've all been sent, did you receive that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And there's also paper copies.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Naomi is represented from the select board, is that right?
That's correct.
Thank you. Then we went through a step-by-step process of how are we going to work this type of thing. And we actually did some copying from other towns. Mr. Mance, his friends with another tree warden in another town, took their plan, kind of rewrote it with our names and what applied to us and all that sort of stuff. And so that is what is your Shaftsbury Emerald Ash Borer Management Plan. Okay, thank you.
And we will be posting these.
And I'll distribute,
on
Mike,
the
there's a
website
copy
if
of
we
it, just for you
adopt that
to
tonight.
have and to
Yep.
hold. And there's a copy.
Have and to hold, thank you.
So that's what he's talking about.
Okay, can we go to the second page where we have, yeah, the next, go further, please. Okay, right there, I want to bring your attention to number 3 where it says the select board will aim to budget at least. It's not up to our committee to tell you what to budget. I think this is something the select board has got to deal with, okay? But I think it's important that we put a number down. We've got to move this forward.
Yes.
That's my point.
Well,
Okay.
so we will be addressing that in our first budget hearing 2 weeks from now, right?
Yeah.
So everybody has like a couple of weeks to think about it.
It'll be a line item.
And
Yes.
it'll be a line item.
It is an line item, but we have to figure out what a good
A new
number
Yes.
is to.
It'll be a new line.
The new
item,
line.
Yes,
item.
yes.
Specifically for the Old Ash Borer.
Like a
In
temporary
addition
one.
to the tree.
In other
line
words,
item.
You actually want 2 of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
that way.
So it'll be separate from Mike's ongoing
Tree
tree.
removal budget.
And we'll keep that line item the same, the 22.5, 22.5, and then we'll add a new emerald ash borer tree
Okay.
removal.
That's actually
because-
smarter.
And then people know,
putting it
there's
all
more
together.
transparent, people know what it's for, and also if the committee needs to use that, leverage that money to put a down payment on a machine, or, whatever it
Yeah.
is, it's specific, and
Okay.
Mike still has his funds, and they're sort of in
But
the,
it's temporary
and
too.
it's clear.
Yeah, it's sort of
Long-term
an ad
temporary.
hoc
Ad
Yeah.
hoc budget line.
budget line.
Yeah, okay. Can we go down to the bottom of the page, number 9? Okay. Yes, okay. Can you go back to 8?
A little higher up.
No, go back to 8.
Excuse me.
Number 9?
Please scroll up to the page above.
Scroll up.
There we go, right there.
Okay. Okay, I have another one on here that I have the wrong copy. Because number 9 said that all expenditures by contractors must be approved in advance by the select board. And we took that out because I did not want the select board have to, if he has a budget, that's his responsibility. He knows.
Oh, yeah, it
what to
looks
do
like
with
it's
it.
been cut
It
from
has
the
been.
documents
It
we
has
have,
been,
and that's why.
Good, okay.
That was-
I'm looking at the
we're in
wrong copy.
agreeance, yeah,
I
good.
apologize.
Yeah,
Don't
3 of
care.
us edited that, right? You
Okay,
will.
so I don't have any other, if you want to scroll through it or have any concerns about it, but that's our action plan. It-
So this is the wrong copy, or you have
No,
the wrong?
No, this
you
is the
have
correct
right-
copy.
You have the
yeah.
right copy, thank
most
you.
up-
Just
to
the
date.
3 of us, including Art, edited it.
Just wanted to make sure I'm posting.
I'm just a lucky recipient.
Okay, so,
But yeah, just for the public, it's there's a management plan, there's goals listed out, there's specific actions to be taken. There are more specific items, like Mr. Whitman called out, that are budgetary, or who's in control of the decision-making process, which is the committee is in control of this. And then sort of some notes on how to lower cost, notes on the RFP process is very, as you said, Mr. Mance the third, right? Adopted this from another town, and made it really applicable to us, and we're very thankful for that, and for your time and everybody's time working on
Yeah,
it.
and it also has, again, for the public, it has background information about
The history.
the history of the emerald ash borer and the way it moves through
And-
a
And
forest.
this is just a work in progress because it doesn't address after the trees have been cut down and brought to a central spot, whether they're processed, how is it given out to the public and that sort of stuff.
It just says that the Emerald Ash Borer Committee will
Be figuring that out.
Will
That's right.
figure that out.
Again.
So that's all in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
But yeah, working document, and it's already looking very good for
Okay.
the procedure.
So the process is that we identify an area, and we have. We would like to start where Maple Hill branches off from Depot Road.
This actually says the area between where
Jack Cross.
Jack Cross.
It's a little bit further
meets-
up.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah,
Yeah, about a mile further up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But in that area, okay?
Yeah, and up to where it meets Cider Mill.
Yep.
So that's a 1 mile stretch. Sorry.
So the next thing is, we have to inform the property owners to have land up to our right-of-way. Actually, it's their property also, but we have the right-of-way to go. We either get in touch with them in person or send a letter, and/or send a letter, and this is a copy of the letter that we are recommending that be sent out.
May I add something in there?
Absolutely.
So in the last paragraph, it has in yellow, the directive to the property owner to contact, it says me
Yep.
immediately. That's because I live in that stretch of road, and those are my neighbors. So simply, I'm going to be the contact person only for this
Project, pilot. Pilot project.
pilot project. And after that, we will determine other contact people. It may not be the same one for each stretch of road. The committee has just sort of not decided that yet.
Yeah, maybe we won't get into how to do that, but maybe there could be some centralized email box for that, where everything goes in, like an email address that is for this purpose, so that we have a record of this that is in writing going forward. That could be a good idea. So that somebody says, I didn't say that. And you say, yeah, actually, it's right here, or I guess a lot of it would be over the phone too, but,
Yeah, and some people
And in
don't have
person.
email.
and some people don't have email. But it would be nice to see if we can create, and then maybe we'd create some sort of central place where you all are able to store the information that you have so that it's not disparate, even if it's scanning something in or taking a picture.
We don't have everybody's email.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna get there.
Try to get there.
I think first we're just aiming in this first round to work out,
How it works.
Try to get the
Kinks.
bugs all worked out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, it's quite a project.
It sounds
so we're
like
sort
a
of picking the
gigantic
easiest
undertaking.
stretch
Sure.
that could
Yeah.
be come up with, as well out of the stretches that are pretty full of dangerous trees.
That are already
Well,
really.
we've got a host of dangerous trees, but we're limited on, we don't have any power lines in that section. And it's we can close it off, the town can close it off on both ends. While they're working, there's ways for people to get around.
Right, it's
There's no
really
drive-
ideal.
There's only one driveway, and that's easy to access from, the rest of it is pretty much, this is really a pilot project to
Perfect.
start.
Yeah, and it seems like it's really been thought about, so.
So
This
once,
committee has been incredibly,
we have made contact with the property owners, we will go and talk to them and just kind of describe what we're doing type of thing. They have the option of keeping the wood, and where do they want it, all we can do is just dump it in a pile for them. If not, can we use a section of your land as a landing area, so just to kind of store wood temporarily until it's brought back to town property, and that sort of stuff. So those are all things that'll be talked over with the landowner. The very last thing is the marking of the trees, which is going to be done maybe just a few days prior to when the work actually starts.
Okay, that all sounds great. Makes sense.
So I think I'm asking this board to approve everything that we've presented to you so that this isn't just our idea, that this is what you want done. Is that the right process, I think?
That makes sense. I mean, I guess we've all been kind of on board throughout this whole process and kept apprised. But I would be in favor of the select board approving of the Shaftsbury Emerald Ash Borer Management Plan's existence, and that it's moving forward. What do you all think makes sense procedurally?
Yeah, sure, I can make a motion to approve this management plan dated October 20th, 2025.
Second.
A second.
Okay. All in favor?
Does that also include the letter and the?
Yes.
And to include
The
letter.
subsequent actions
Yeah.
as called for by the management plan.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, okay.
well, thank you, I think
Thank you.
that makes it, so we aren't just out there just trying to do this by ourselves, this is.
A directive, yeah. And Naomi's been on board as a member of the select board. and-
Thank you so much for the work of that committee. I mean, it's
Important.
it's a heavy lift already.
Yeah, I'll always remember the PowerPoint. That was a very scary PowerPoint that Dave Mance III presented at town meeting with
absolutely.
the pictures of the trees and the, you know.
So, I hate to give you the date isn't, in basically, we said to Mike, when do you think we might be able to start? Because he's got trucks, he's got to put plows on bodies and that sort of stuff. He says probably the middle of November, November 15th or so, I can get going on this if no snowstorms and everything else is done. So it
Okay.
will happen before the end of the year.
The pilot project,
The pilot
great.
project, yep.
Good.
And depending on that goes, and we'll pick another spot and keep going as long as the weather is good and all that sort of stuff.
Great.
This is gonna take several years, and I think trees are gonna come down before we get to them, I'm
Mhm.
sorry to say, but.
Absolutely.
Because they do rot awful
They're,
fast.
they're tipping over fast.
They
But we'll try.
We'll try. We're getting underway. And thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
And
you.
thank you. And thank you to everyone on the committee who's not here
Okay.
for all their hard work. This is really an undertaking.
I'm wondering if the public who's here came about this issue. Just wanted to make sure.
All right.
Okay?
Anything else,
That's
Mr.
it?
Whitman?
No, that's fine.
All right. Well, thank you both so
We'll-
much. And
we'll-
thank all of you.
Thanks.
We'll keep in touch.
Yes.
Thanks to the whole committee and to Dave
Yeah.
Nance, who's
You've really done so
a
much.
great
Yeah.
deal of wonderful work.
Okay.
Steward of the trees. All right. Item 11 is schedule development for committee liaison reports. I know we kind of touched briefly on this last meeting, talking about what that would look like. Did I keep this piece of paper? Let's look. Let's look. I don't have it, but that's okay. So, Mike, basically, we were talking about it earlier, and just in terms of your thoughts, what about the end of Q1 of 2026 being the first time that we all bring in a report for each of our,
Sure.
write a little report? And maybe in the meantime, we'll come up with, because I know we discussed this briefly earlier today, we'll come up with a structure of what a report will look like. Maybe I'll even create a template. Maybe it's like a certain amount of words, just like to make it easy and achievable. And it's like, oh, I've got 7 of these. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do one today and one tomorrow. But ideally, if we did it quarterly and starting at the end of the first quarter of the new year, it's sort of a new practice in a new year, and it's not over the holidays.
Sounds good.
Great.
Some of them are going to be very long and some of them are going to be very short.
Okay. Word count at discretion. All right. Other business.
I have other business.
All right.
3 pieces of business. One is from our cemetery superintendent, Jen Hawley. Fall cemetery cleanup at Shaftsbury cemeteries, sorry. It's fall cleanup time at the town Shaftsbury cemeteries. The town's cemetery superintendent is asking for those who decorate any grave sites in town cemeteries to remove all decorations by November 1st. Any decorations not removed by that date will be respectfully disposed of, and some perennials may be cut down or trimmed to ground level. As a reminder, decorations should always be kept close to the headstones as not to hinder our graveyard maintenance team.
Great.
That is one thing. Okay.
Great update.
The second thing is, I need you three to sign this amended resolution for the FY '24, which was like a million years ago, municipal planning grant that I have to close out by December 30th. But I was not the one who opened the grant.
Right.
Our previous town administrator did. So I put my name as the grant administrator and here, and I put yours, Zoe, here. So
That's
then
so
I
that-
can send it to them, so then I have access to the portal through which to close out the grant.
Great. Okay. I will sign this.
Thank you. And that was the work
It
that.
says CEO right here.
I know, CEO, that Scott
That's not
Grimm
us.
Lyons did, the BCRC, the Economic Development Plan. That's what that grant was for.
So that was for that study that Scott Grimline did.
That's right.
On the
Yep.
development of downtown. A list of recommendations from over there?
Yes.
Okay. And I just need to sign this. It looks as though I'm the only named party. And you need to sign
Yeah.
it.
I think we need to.
Everyone has to sign it.
Okay,
The
got it.
majority of,
I see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It actually requires a vote.
oh, it does? Okay.
Okay, I would call for a motion to approve the, will you read me the title?
The amended resolution for municipal planning grant.
The amended resolution for municipal planning grant for fiscal year 2024, which was opened by our former town administrator, and it is now being closed on schedule in advance of its December 2025 deadline to close, and which was used for a study about developing Shaftsbury's downtown with an eye to the economic future. Okay.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
The last thing, Shaftsbury Fire Department has a proposal. They need replacing all tires on engine 3, truck 66, and this is their 2013 fire apparatus. We found, this is from Joe. We found the tires are starting to cuff off and wear to the point they're not roadworthy or safe. The following is price to replace all 6 tires, 2 in front, 4 in the rear. The work will be done by Bennington Tire. They're the only big truck tire dealer in the Bennington area.
Wow.
And I'm
Somebody
only
should
bringing
start
this.
one of those.
Right, I know, it's
That seems like
opportunity
actually a
there.
big hole
Somebody
in the
should buy
market.
their business. They've had it on the.
Right.
Yeah, they have.
So the rear tires are $6,545.44, and the 2 front tires total $3,178, for a grand total of $9,723.44. They have the money in their budget.
Great.
But just wanted permission because it's over the $4,999 that I can just go, yeah, okay. Kelly,
All in
get
favor of approval of them getting tires for the fire truck? I'd call for a motion to approve them getting tires for the fire truck.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Cool. Okay. That's other business. Before we close this evening, do y'all have anything you'd like to bring to the table?
We're good.
Okay. Okay. All right, so we'll do a quick review of action items, and then we'll move into a brief executive session for legal reasons, which is having to do with the parcel of land lying right over there. Okay, so action items. Tractor parade continues. Action item for Zoe is to email Dina
Yep.
and Sarah, and just get everybody on the chain and see if the recreation committee is able to get on board with this gentleman and maybe make that happen. And they will take that from there. We will finish up our piece by reaching out to the state regarding road closure and just what that would look like, because there's no reason not to ask.
Right.
And shooting past it a quick email, because I'm
So
sure.
who's going to do that? Paula, I guess? And
Definitely the passive one, that's really quick email.
She was very quick with the answer.
With the dog phrasing, yeah.
maybe to check in with Callie Fishburne?
Yeah,
about that municipal planning grant in relation to the zoning bylaw revision.
That makes
Thanks
sense.
for coming.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. I can do that.
And maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I also know that I'm pretty sure I have a copy of our hazard mitigation plan.
Yeah, it's very long.
Dara
I'm like
said
not
that-
trying to do it myself, let's be so clear.
Oh, no,
I'm just
no.
like curious what it
But
looks
she
like.
said she would send it, but
I
I'm pretty
really
sure
want to
we
see
have it.
Yeah.
the
Oh, and it's on
template
the- it's
too,
on the
and the new
website.
guidelines.
Jen
Yeah.
says it's on the website as well.
It's great. I love that. That's a great place for it to be.
Have you
Yeah.
ever looked at that, Mike? It's
It's
unbelievable.
probably so.
Well, you gotta look at the next one, it should be 12 or 15 grand, so everybody will be reading that.
Tractor parade.
We're gonna have to do it though,
Yeah, of course, of course.
if FEMA survives.
Yeah, exactly. We all do.
We're all not, actually, we're not all gonna survive, but we at this table will do our very best to survive
I
each.
said if FEMA.
Oh, no, and she
I know,
said
we
if
were
we all
joking.
survive.
Sorry, joking around. Joking.
Okay, any other action items?
Yes,
Yes.
for Jen. The EAV docs on the website.
EAB docs on the
Oh,
website?
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That would be great, yeah, so we will get those to you. We
Maybe
need
that could be
all-
up front for a little while.
I can,
Like on the front page of the
Yeah.
website?
I can do something like that, sure. I'll put it on their page and do something on the front.
Yeah, just because it's a new, fresh thing we want.
Sure.
And then anything else, any other action items that anyone else is aware of? We can always, okay, nope. I would call for a motion to move into I'll call for a motion to close this section, to move into executive session. Yeah.
Not so
You can send that.
All in favor? We are coming back.
We're coming.
Are we
Probably
gonna
coming back
take any
to wrap it
action?
up. I'm not sure,
So,
Sorry.
you.
but there is
you
another
guys
thing
can
to
go
take
away.
action on.
It also will not take very long.
It won't take very long.
Recording stopped. progress.
All right, so we have adjourned executives, or left executive session, during which we discussed a real estate matter. And now we have one last-minute addition to the agenda this evening, which has to do with small balance credit policy. This came to us just this week, or last week, from 3 members of the town. The town administrator, the treasurer, and the delinquent tax collector have been discussing taking on what is a common practice in small organizations, which is a small balance credit policy. The way that the system works right now is that small balances and credits sort of get in the way of things. These are, minute charges, $2, $3, things like this that come through, because the cost of the cost of collecting those outweighs the collections themselves. And so one of the ways that this is sort of circumspected is through small balance and credit policies. A lot of towns like ours have adopted these policies, as have other small, entities like community colleges, other sorts of organizations that don't want to deal with these little monies and want to keep the books clean. And so this is the policy proposed by the town of Shaftsbury. October 20th, 2025, the small balance and credits policy for property taxes. This is for property taxes in specific. This policy is to reduce administration time and expenses incurred with small balances and credits within tax administration and will take effect starting tax year 25-26. Per this policy, any small balances occurring in tax administration of $5 or less will be written off or abated. Per this policy, any credits held in tax administration of $5 or less will be zeroed out. Any credits on a parcel ranging from $5.01 to $50 will be held and applied to the following year's property tax bill. I'd like to call for a motion to approve this small balance and credits policy for our property taxes here in Shaftsbury. Call for a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So this is adopted this 20th day of October. And that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Sorry for the late in the game edition. That was not an executive session matter. It was just something that made its way onto the agenda just now. All right. So if there's not anything else, I'd like to call for a motion. I'd like to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all.